Okay, the big rumors are that AJ Styles and Chris Jericho could possibly be showing up on the first episode of TNA on AMC. I have mixed feelings about both of them. The same feelings I had last time around with AJ when they were rumoring him coming in. I didn't want him to steal the show from Mike Santana. I kind of still feel the same way, and the same applies for Chris Jericho. Although with Chris Jericho, there's some history with Mike Santana and the Inner Circle in AEW. If they could play off of that, there could be a lot to the Mike Santana Chris Jericho potential feud, or make them be friends. Maybe Chris Jericho comes in and betrays Mike Santana. There's a lot of different ways they could go. So I have mixed feelings on how I feel about Chris Jericho and AJ Styles coming into TNA. It's not something I'm like, yeah, let's do this. Because my biggest fear is we get back into a pattern of repeating what we did during the Spike TV era, which was bring in RVD, bring in Booker T, bring in Kevin Nash, bring in Scott Steiner, all these names of the past, and try to create a rating or move the measuring stick, move the needle, as they say. We live in a different age. I don't think that there's any talent that moves the measuring stick. Nothing moves the needle per se. It takes good storytelling and creating young talent to move the needle more than anything. And it always has, truthfully. If you look at the WWF in the prime, when it was Mick Foley, The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, those guys, they were all created right where they were. They all became household names right before your eyes. They weren't created somewhere else and brought in. The only time a guy has ever moved the needle that came from one company and went to another, I don't even have to tell you, it was when Hulk Hogan joined WCW and turned heel. And it was because it was creatively, it was good, because everybody expected Hulk Hogan to be your ultimate babyface. And then when he joined WCW, turning heel was revolutionary, and it changed everything in wrestling. But those days are long gone. That'll probably never happen again. Today, the only way is the way it's usually 90% of the time, is to build your own stars and let them come up creatively and let them build into their own brand. Today, it's about brands. Today, it's about what makes TNA's brand different than AEW's brand or WWE's brand. Today, having a unique brand. And right now, I think that brand for TNA is being cutting edge. Not giving away too many great wrestling matches, saving them for pay-per-views, and not giving away the meat and potatoes on free television, but making their pay-per-views much must-watch television, and making their pay-per-views event very special. And that makes you want to come back. And I think that's what TNA has over that WWE doesn't have, what AEW doesn't have, is they will make you want to come back. Because everything, we don't know where TNA's headed. We don't know if Frankie Kazarian is the future, Mike Santana's the future, AJ Styles is the future, Chris Jericho's the future. We don't know where TNA's headed. And they keep it interesting. And I like that about TNA, and I want it to stay that way. I want the creative aspect of TNA to stay creative. I want the things in TNA to stay interesting. And I think that if TNA continues to push Mike Santana and let Frankie Kazarian play a big part in that, I think that's the future. Pushing Leon Slater in the X Division and letting him continue to have great matches. By the way, I can't tell you how much I'm excited for Leon Slater versus AJ Francis. I think these two could have a wonderful feud together. I don't think this has to be a one-off match that they're having a final resolution. I think AJ Francis versus Leon Slater could definitely go into Genesis and have another match at Genesis. I definitely want to see that continue. I don't want it to end tonight on final resolution. And I hope that they have a great match, because I truly know Leon Slater can have great matches with big men like AJ Francis. He did it with Moose. That match with Moose was phenomenal, and he can do it again with AJ Francis. Anyways, that's just some of my thoughts. I'm Ken Jones. I'm signing off.